Yeah, so it's an exciting week for you because we're quickly approaching the release of your new singles, 6 months and Be Number Five. How are you feeling?
Yeah, very excited actually. These are a little different from my previous stuff and a bit more fun. So I'm pretty excited to get the vibe out there and see what's happening.
Yeah, and mentioning that these are a bit different to your previous work, tell us a bit about the inspiration behind these releases and what they mean to you personally.
Yeah, so I guess they're basically both songs about almost wishing you were somewhere else or maybe getting out of work. And funnily enough, I wrote them while at work, driving the truck. Both of them I wrote in the trailers while I was unloading and on different days, obviously. But yeah, talking with some people, just chatting with blokes at work and stuff. And then, yeah, these songs just sort of came out of that. And yeah, driving along gave me a lot of time to write and just flesh them out. And they were both done in about a day each, to be honest.
That's incredible because the songs are really good. So to hear that you've done them in about a day, that's very impressive.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd love to hear about your creative process because it sounds like these songs have been written like on the road or while you're at work. So like, do you record them as you're going about your day, or what's the creative process like to get them done in a day?
Yeah. So I'll say I start pretty early in the morning. So I don't know. I find like that's the most creative time when I wake up really early. I don't know about other like rock stars and stuff. They seem to always be late at night, that sort of thing. But I'm an early riser, maybe just conditioned from work. But yeah, I'll get in the truck and then just start driving off. And if I decide whether or not I'm going to listen to music on the radio or on the speakers. And if I choose not to, then usually the music in my head just keeps going around. And so, yeah, I decide not to listen. So then I know I'm going to write. So then I'll just start listening. And pretty much from the time I leave to by the time I get to where my first place is that I'm delivering to, I'll have just an idea come in. And so then from that, while I'm unloading, I'll usually just go on more about the idea and try and find the melodic hook that goes with it. And then, yeah, once that's locked in for the rest of the day, it's just a matter of writing the story and filling it out and getting my ideas clearer. And then, yeah, by the end of the day, sorry, by the end of the day on the drive home, that's when it's usually all finished and just in the voice memos on my phone.
Yeah, nice. And mentioning like the hooks, so these releases as well as your previous releases, they really resonate with, I guess, people because they're relatable. So how do you go about crafting the melodies to portray that songwriting?
Yeah, I remember when I was really, really young, my grandma said that each word has its own sound, almost like a melodic sound. And so I think if I have the lyrical hook, say in these songs, it's the 6 months, it's 6 month vacation 2 times a year. When you say that, or when you just start to sing it, it already has its own thing built into it. And so you just kind of follow along with that and find something that, you know, yeah, is original, I guess. And in terms of the idea or theme, I mean, those things just come about because I am literally at work and these are stories that have happened. So it's basically just telling it like it is. So there's no real trickery in that part. It's just, yeah, just what would I want? This is what it is. Okay, I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes your music very relatable as well. I'm sure there's many people in the same position, which brings to a bit of a fun one. Like you've mentioned that 6 months is about wanting to get away and go on vacation. So where would you like to get away to?
Oh, it's a tough one. When I was at Tamworth Country Music Festival, I went around and asked a few people where they would want to go, and it was amazing. I think about 80-90% of people said places in Australia, but I've never been to the States, and I know that if I went there, there'd be about 400 songs that I could write just from that experience. So I'd love to go there for 6 months or longer. That'd be great.
Yes, there'll definitely be lots of inspiration there that you can get from it.
Yeah, for sure. And away from the truck would be good too.
Definitely. Yeah, so Tamworth Country Music Festival, you recently performed there and did two really great sets. What are some of your favorite memories from that experience?
I think playing with the band, I had a really good group of guys come together, and we didn't have any time to rehearse. So the shows were just hit the ground running, and they were so good. The band were amazing, and I mean, I've known them as well from previous things as well. But yeah, to when you're up there and you're sort of a deer in headlights and you're thinking, how's this going to go? And then you hear behind you that they've got your back from the start and that everything's going to be okay. And then you get to just enjoy the magic of things happening in the moment, and they're all going right for the rest of the show. So I think that's really good. But also, I really, really love meeting people who come along and have come along to see me play, and just to know what their lives are like, you know, because you find the similarities. Like we all work full time and we all juggle everything around us, but they can see what my dreams are. What are their dreams? That's the stuff that I love finding out about, just to know more about them, I guess.
Yeah, and it sounds like you've got a really supportive band as well, which is the main thing when you perform too.
Definitely, yeah.
So the Country Music Festival, it's well known for its atmosphere and sense of community. So what does performing at an event like that mean for you as an artist?
I so my first ever Tamworth was last year, and that was, yeah, really eye opening. It was cool to see, and just how fluid it is. You know, my the friends of mine have said that when you get down there, you just jump on people's sets and jump on songs, and you know nothing's really fully organized. Some things are, but some things aren't. And I've never really experienced that before in a musical setting. So going down there last year was really eye opening, and meeting so many people last year that when I went down again this year, I thought, oh, how's it going to be? You know, will it work out? But I just caught up with so many people that I knew, which I didn't realize I knew so many people in the music industry and other artists and things as well that I've become really good friends with. And so it's just like a big catch up, and then I fully understood the vibe and the theme of Tamworth is everyone just goes down there and it's a big reunion, basically. Just everyone in the one spot all the time, and you can go and see everyone, see your friends, go and party afterwards. Everything. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a great experience. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about where the music industry in Australia is at today and where you think it might go in the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's funny, like, you know, when you listen to other artists being interviewed and they get asked this question, and a lot of them say, you know, it's really exciting. And I think, well, I've never thought about that question before, but when you ask that, I genuinely am really excited for the Australian musicians and artists that are, you know, it's almost like we've all, I guess, with say globalization, everything's getting smaller. So we all kind of feel like we're all in it all together anyway. It's not like Australia versus everyone else. We're all just here. It's a global market, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. But I know some of our stories and the things that we sing about will be specifically related to Australia, but and I'm kind of rambling here as opposed to the point that I was headed towards. But I'm excited because, yeah, it feels like everyone's stepped it up. Oh, the only thing kind of holding everyone back is the fact that you have to juggle a full-time work and the cost of living and all that stuff with trying to create art, I guess. But in a way that kind of, what's that, you know, like if coal doesn't have pressure, you don't get diamonds, basically something along those lines. And so I think it really forces people to step it up, I guess, and know what they want and really chase what they want. And so then that's, no one has time for just filler. It's just the best of everything they've got. And so I think that's what I'm really enjoying about the music that's coming out at the moment, is that everyone's just putting it, laying everything on the line, and just, this is it, you know.
Yeah, and it's incredible to hear the music that is coming out, especially as you mentioned that most artists are balancing it with full-time work and other commitments as well.
Definitely, yeah.
How do you find that you balance it? Because obviously, like, you don't want to burn yourself out, but you've also got to factor in that you've got some live performances coming up soon as well.
Yeah, I do get a lot of comments from, you know, work colleagues and stuff and family just saying, like, how do you do it? How do you have the energy? Because I'm up at 3:30 in the morning, and then I get home at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then, you know, I'm dad and family and all that sort of stuff, get all that done. And then and then I try and go to bed early. So I've got about half an hour to 45 minutes to write music or do the stuff that I've come up with during the day. And then weekends and annual leave I use for shows and all those kind of things as well. So there's not a lot of downtime, but the thing that I would say is that music gives me so much energy. So even though I'm doing a lot in my downtime with music, it's actually the thing that is giving me energy. You know, if I was just sitting on a couch somewhere reading a book, like that's really cool, but and that is good downtime. But yeah, music just gives me so much energy. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like you got a busy schedule, but it definitely helps that it's passionate what you do and
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
well into it. Yeah.
definitely.
And speaking of live shows, you're currently, well, soon you'll be touring with Brad Cox. So what are some of the things that you're looking forward to and what can we expect from your performances?
I know Brad is like a really, really good guy, so I'm really keen to hang out with him face to face. The other one is because of who he is and his music, I know his fans are incredible people. So I'm really keen to just see them and meet them and watch how they are with his shows and stuff as well. Those are big ones. I have mostly only played the capital cities. I haven't really played too many regional shows, so I'm really excited to go out and play these smaller areas as well. I grew up in Imbil outside of Gympie, and that's kind of like, you know, it'll be cool to just basically feel like you're going home all the time or playing a home show all the time, except it's from northern Queensland down to South Australia. So super excited.
Yeah, and we're definitely looking forward to seeing the shows and seeing your performances and what you've got in store.
Yeah, awesome.
And looking ahead of the rest of the year, so obviously this week you've got the releases, you've got some upcoming live shows. Is there any other projects you're working on that you want to share or any of the comments that you want to add?
Yeah. I have kind of set myself a challenge, I guess, along the lines of laying everything out on the line. Is I've got a whole bunch of songs that I want to try and release this year, and so amongst the work, family, live shows, I'm also recording basically every weekend I can as well. And sometimes after work, I'll drive up the coast or something and get up to the studio. So I'm recording a lot of music, and there's going to be a lot of music released this year, which I'm unbelievably excited about.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing it. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, making the time in your busy schedule.
No, that's great. Thanks, Brooke.
No worries at all. Thank you so much.